So, just the first thoughts on the Assegai. I don't know really where to start with this one, because initially I had some quite varying thoughts on it. Tread pattern looks good. Side knobs feel nice and pliable. Much more pliable than something like the Wild Enduro that I had on there. Seem a lot bigger than the DHF side knobs as well. Although the centre knobs remind you definitely of a DHF / sort of high roller type thing. So yeah, Assegai. Overall, I think it's probably preferred to something that's a bit more hard pack or slightly damp conditions, mixed conditions, rather than loose over hard pack, dusty conditions. And here in Adelaide, it's kind of just turned from being that hard pack / mixed, somewhat wet, to being quite dry and dusty really quickly. So, and it was roughly around the time that I had this Assegai on the front, or put the Assegai on the front initially. So there's definitely grip there. There's no questions about that. Definitely no questions about the grip side of things. There's grip there. I just had several occasions where you go to push against it to get some grip on the front end and to find some traction, and the front end would just feel like it wants to wash. So, and that was on some loose, sort of sandy, rocky trails. Kept persisting with it. I've done maybe half a dozen rides for the last 3 to 4 weeks on it, and don't get me wrong, there were a couple of rides where I got some PBs as well, so that's obviously a big tick. But for my riding style, I feel like the Michelin suited things way better. Felt like I could lay the bike over, push against something into the corners, without the front end wanting to kind of give way all the time. So in fairness to the Assegai, because it's so rated so highly, although I have heard the Max Terra version maybe isn't as good as the Max Grip, I've put the Wild Enduro back on there now, and I'm going to give it another go in the conditions that we've now got to see whether my thoughts on it's changed at all. So at this point, yeah, the Assegai is sort of going to go up on the rack, and I'm going to have a little bit of a look at it. And definitely at this point, for my style of riding, the Wild Enduro's got the chocolate so far. But again, just in fairness to the different conditions, I thought it'd be a good idea to be able to put the Wild Enduro back on and give that a go in these conditions, and then see what happens in terms of the Assegai. So yeah, I guess at this point in time, I'll be back in touch and let you all know how that goes, and whether I do end up popping the Assegai back on or not. But yeah, hopefully that hasn't been too misleading. Shout out if you've got any questions or any thoughts on the Assegai as well. I'll be really keen to know what you think about it, and yeah, whether or not, if you have tried the Wild Enduro yourself, which one you think's better suited to maybe dry conditions and that sort of stuff. So yeah, hit me up and let me know. Cheers.